How you doing, y'all? And welcome to Confidence. Today's episode is going to be very motivating. Really, this is what I want from it today, honestly. If you're listening to this, I really hope this podcast comes as a wake-up call to you, because I think I just hit my own version of a wake-up call this week, and we're going to get into it. So, long story short, I know on the last podcast, I mentioned that I was going to be doing a live show and I was going to be taking callers. So the day comes, I, set up my computer. I do all these things. I'm loving it. I'm like, oh my God, great. This is great. I love live. I get on there. You know what? It wasn't too bad. A couple people on there. But then I quickly realized, I was like, oh shit, there's not a lot of people here. And I opened up the lines for the phone calls and yeah, no one really showed up. I had one or two people and then it broke and then it wasn't working. After that whole fiasco, I took a pause. People left. Honestly, it was a massive bust. And honestly, it wasn't terrible, but honestly, that shit really disappointed me. I was like, damn, I really set this up. But to keep it real, I kind of half-assed it. And honestly, if you really want me to keep it a fucking 1,000, I've been half-assing a lot of my life for the last month and a half. I'm going to keep it real. And this week, really, I don't know what happened. I experienced a lot of different painful things, and we're going to get into them, that has kind of reinvigorated me and I think kind of smacked me in the face a little bit. And hopefully I could share those experiences with you and wake you the fuck up too. Because what we're really going to talk about today is how easy it is to lose your sense of self and how easy it is for you to blame all the external factors in your life as for the reason that you are unhappy. Because that was fucking me. And really where this all starts is, I really think it goes back to the injury. I was talking to my friend and she's like, because I've been feeling a really weird mood lately. I've actually been tracking my mood as well. So every day I've been writing down my mood from 0 to 10 with a little bit of notes on why I felt the way that I did. Any stressors, anything that was like on my mind as to why I wasn't feeling that great. And I looked at the numbers for the last month and I'm not joking. I'm probably averaging at like a 7.5. And the people that know me deeply, that is not my vibe. That is not my vibe. Confidence Chris is not built on a 7.5. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like Confidence Chris, I used to tell people, I remember like all the time, my whole claim to fame was I'm either between a 95 and 100 every single day. That's my mantra. It's always an A+, but what kind of A+ is it? And it's interesting because my life has not been an A+, to keep it real. And honestly, it's not even necessarily like super bad, but there has just been a lot of things that I think that, and here's where I think it starts. I think it starts, I tore my Achilles tendon on that particular time. It was the day after my birthday, right? And I was fucking on a heater. I was rolling. I had friends. I just had my birthday. I was firing on all cylinders. I'm posting content, multiple pieces of content a day. Your boy is killing it. That thing happens, right? I obviously, met the whole long distance situation, that kind of thing. And obviously, again, in the last podcast, I talked about coming of age until this moment, which is essentially I'm now here in end of January. Obviously, I'm healing from this. I feel a lot better now from it. But what I think slowly happened is I started to accumulate an excuse. And I think what inadvertently happened throughout this time is I started to recognize that I was really doing a lot before this injury. And right now, I'm not even close to touching the things that I was doing. Like things have been sitting on my to-do list all month. And I'm not even joking. I've had plenty of time to do them. It's been straight procrastination. Straight. And it's funny because I feel it happening. I notice it happening. And I'm like, I know I really want to do this. I know I really want to be productive because that feels really good to me. And I'm that type of person. And then I'm just like, why is this not happening? Oh, well, it's my mood. I just don't feel good. And then I'll cop out with like, okay, it's an injury. Or, I think recently what has happened is I have been pushing all of this blame onto my long distance relationship. And honestly, I've been very selfish in that way. Like, there's been a few wake up calls even just this past week. So I think the last thing I left you off with this particular situation, she had just visited, good vibes, good times, things are fine. I'm gonna be honest, like, it is hard because her schedule is really tight. She's over, where she is, and we haven't seen each other for a good amount of time. And I think that some of that feeling is definitely starting to creep up on me. To be honest, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I really do like this person a lot. But the dog days of the long distance are here. They're here. And I feel them, it's like, I wake up every day and it's like, I have you, but I don't. It's, I'm still talking to you on the phone and I'm making that time. But then what I'm realizing is I'm just sitting here waiting every single day for that person to get off of work, or, again, just sitting there, just like sitting on the phone for hours at a time. And it's not, honestly, it's not even as ridiculous as I'm making it sound. But what I'm inadvertently doing is I'm kind of just coasting, right? Like, to be honest, what happened was I think I have inadvertently leaned on this person for my happiness in this time. What I did was, when I got injured and I met this person, I'm like, oh, great. I am injured, so I can't do as much. So I was like, you learn to take it easy a little bit. You take your foot off the gas pedal. And the hard part to me about motivating yourself, it's not when you're firing, you're firing. It's how the fuck do you get back up and keep running at that speed or get to full speed when you're at a deadlock, when things aren't as quick or going as hard as they were before. I didn't realize how much I was really doing until you stop and smell the roses a little bit and you're like, holy fuck, I really was taking on a lot. And a couple other things too. And I'm going to get back to the relationship in a second, but this week I had a new assistant that's been working with me actually probably since my birthday around that time. She actually just quit, and for her own personal reasons. It was nothing bad, but to be honest, what I kind of felt? I kind of felt that the reason that she didn't continue on with me was because of the lack of energy and the effort that I was putting towards my own work. She's setting up my to-do list. She's going through my emails. She's doing all these things, and I'm not picking up the slack. I wouldn't want to work for a person like that, to keep it real. Honest, and then I'm feeling like, damn, like, oh man, she had a couple of days off here and there. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? But I'm like, dude, look in the fucking mirror. What the fuck have you been doing? You've been sitting here fucking moping. Honestly, there's been days where I've been depressed. There's been days where, I've woken up in my bed, and I can't move. And I guess that's okay. That shit happens, right? It's normal. But it's been very hard for me to find gratitude for myself lately. And I just think it's a very interesting thing. And honestly, a lot of the pressure and a lot of the reasons that I've been unhappy is because of the production that I have had with work. I'm not feeling like I'm A1 right now. It's very hard for me to create. I feel like I have this like mental block, towards my work. My fitness has been on point. It's weird. I've been doing a lot of the healthy habits, right? I'm reading, I'm getting enough sleep, I'm working out, I'm eating the right things. I'm probably the most jacked I've been in a while. Since the injury, obviously I've picked it up hard. But it's funny how I could do all the other little things, but the thing that is most important to me, which is my work, it's been really a struggle to get myself back going in that direction. And I'm going to keep it real. I obviously feel like having this relationship in my life has changed a lot for me. It's really opened my eyes to a lot of different things about my life. And here's one of the big ones. I've recognized that I probably haven't been able to maintain a relationship in my life a lot because of my content. What I'm realizing is my content and my work is really centered around me being single. I could say whatever the fuck I want. I talk shit. Like, I make a lot of raunchy videos. You know what I'm saying? And something kind of happened this week with this situation, right? So obviously I'm feeling weird because on one hand, I'm like, I really do like you. The vibes are great. Like, honestly, a lot of the things that I believe, you're within all of my non-negotiables. I'm talking to my therapist about this and she's really hyping this girl up. she's really like, damn, like, I normally wouldn't want you to do a long distance relationship, but to be honest, the way that you talk about this person is so sweet and so kind. And I've never heard you talk about a girl like this before. And I really do want to see where things go. But on the other hand, and I'm even telling my therapist this, I'm like, listen, like, the long distance sucks. I feel like it's making it harder for me to work. And I think what was happening is, and what is happening is I'm recognizing that I can't just go on there and be that same person. I have to evolve. I have to change. And I think that's what's happening a lot to me right now in my work is, I'm showing up as this version of like this single guy that like, is cool and like he's confident, which I am. Don't get I'm cool and I'm fucking confident. You know what I'm saying? I am. But there's a side to me where I'm like, yo, this is hella raunchy. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about sex a lot. I talk about, just relationship shit, like dating and whatever. And sometimes it's a lot more than who I really am in person. Like the person that I am, like to a woman or just even to my fellow man, I'm a very gentle person. Honestly, I'm a very kind person. I really do care about other people. And, it is very strange because on the other side of the coin, I definitely could be very selfish without even recognizing it. So speaking of which, obviously she came through, we had that piece of content that popped off. This girl was feeling a little anxious about that content that I posted. So if you guys don't remember, but I posted a video on my Instagram, my TikTok about taking a girl to dinner and smashing, and she was in the video. Eventually she hit a point where her family starts finding out, bro. Her family starts listening to all this stuff that is happening, bro. They find my account, like her little cousins, her sisters and shit are seeing this video, and she's really being portrayed in a very weird light. It's like, I really needed to like take a look and I'm recognizing, I'm like, fuck, like, wow, like my content really isn't conductive to probably having a real relationship. But to be honest, I don't think it's really showing me in my most authentic self. And I think I needed to go through this painful time, right? Like where I'm having this crisis, I call it a crisis, where I feel like I don't know what to create because I'm like, oh shit, I can't just go on there and talk about these girls. And here's the other thing too. One inadvertent problem with the long distance situation is because I have it, and I'm spending all this time talking to her on the phone, inadvertently, I have isolated myself from my Arizona life. Like I said, there was a lot going on before I had left. I slept with 2 other girls, you know what I mean? Like I was hanging out with all of my friends all the time. And now that I've come back to Arizona, it's almost like because I have this person, I didn't need to go and nurture those relationships. I haven't really hit them up. I haven't really hung out with people. I've just been in my house, isolating myself, in this relationship. But what I have done is inadvertently, I have suffocated this connection. I've suffocated it, honest. And what I do now is, and what I've been doing lately is I'm like so irritable. I'm in a piss poor mood. I'm in a bad mood because I feel like what I'm doing is I'm blaming her and this relationship for the reason that I'm not doing good online. Because to be honest, what's happening is it's forcing me to fucking change. It's forcing me to update my behavior, and I'm struggling to do that. You know what I mean? And it's hurting my business. And honestly, it's not hurting it, but again, it's forcing me to make a change, which inadvertently, again, it's stressful. It's stressful as fuck. So again, it's just like, what to summarize is like what I'm really doing is I'm not doing that great at work because I feel like I'm not there. My mood is not there. The other problem is I feel like I'm not seeing this girl. I've seen her 2 days in the month of January, and I'm like, sometimes I turn around, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like I have you, but I don't. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking that pressure of that and I'm pushing it on her, and I'm saying, oh, it's this relationship. This is the reason why I'm struggling, or this is the reason why I don't feel as good. But what I need to do is I need to take a look in the fucking mirror. And honestly, I have been very selfish in a lot of ways in that way, right? Is like, I've been playing victim shit for the last month. And that's what I want you to really ask yourself, when you're thinking about your life and you're making excuses and you're just not feeling right. is it really the external factors that is the problem? Is it really the relationship that you're in? Like, let's say you're obsessing over somebody, or let's say you're attached to somebody and you're blaming them for your moods. Let's say they're cheating on you. Let's say they're treating you like shit. And this person's not even doing that to me. I'm just saying. Like, you have responsibility for your happiness. It is not theirs. If they are treating you like shit, it is time to go in. It is not time to blame them. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and point the finger all I want. But in reality, it comes down to you need to hold accountability for your own happiness. Now, here's the other thing, though, I will say. In regards to my situation, there's been a little bit of friction. And it's honestly been a little bit weird because I'm kind of coming to this realization, as the days go by, I'm like, holy fuck, like, I'm really not taking accountability for my own life. I really am pushing a lot of my bullshit on her, and I'm pushing a lot of bullshit on this relationship, and it's not fair. So I'm like, what do I need to be successful in this relationship? And honestly, just in my life, I need to take that focus in. I need to motivate myself. I need to take action on the things that I can fucking control. And I got to stop fearing whatever this is. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's so easy to just get insidiously, slowly into some shitty fucking habits, some moping habits, some victim shit habits. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're sitting there blaming other people or you're feeling unhappy, I guarantee you there is no one else that can control that besides yourself. Besides the effort that you're putting towards you. Are you pouring yourself back into you? Because here's the other thing too. Because I've become so reliant on this relationship in some ways, I feel that inadvertently I have been sacrificing myself for this person. And this is where it gets really weird and interesting because you don't even realize the things that you're doing that are almost transactional in a way, or the things that you're doing that you're holding over the other person. And trust me, I've done a lot for this person. I extended my trip. When she asked me to do something, I'm really good about showing face. I'm honest. I'm trusting. I don't go out to the club. I'm not getting fucked up. I'm showing this relationship utmost respect to keep it real. And something that's been really hard for me lately is, she obviously felt some sort of way about this content that I posted. And it was a point of contention for me because I'm like, bro, that's my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it seems like a stupid little video, but when a video's got 3 million views, that's money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And also, this is my job. This is what I do. I create art. And honestly, regardless of the video content, it really is just for entertainment. And in my opinion, I did not want to delete that video. But here's the thing. She's in it and I got to respect her, right? And we get into this argument and this fight about how she was just obviously very upset because her family's putting all this pressure on her to delete this video. And they're obviously her family seeing it. And I get it. I understand. I understand how all this content and being in the public affects you because people are seeing a side of you that you've never seen before. And this person's very private. But the hard part is it's like, this girl is asking me to delete the video for her. She has really asked, it's not like a tremendous amount. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, maybe it's me sacrificing myself for her. And that's what I'm recognizing is I'm putting all this time into this connection and I'm not getting the things that I want out of it. And I think that I need to come to that realization because the reality is like, if you aren't here, I need to be taking all this energy that I'm on the phone with you, doing all these things, and I need to pour it into myself. Because here's the thing, I have a little bit of a piece of contention right now with this situation because I'm like, yo, I want to fucking see you. I want to see you in person. Like, let's make some energy and some effort to do that. Now, here's the thing. Her work schedule is right now, number one, not under her control. It will be soon. And then the second thing is, she values her family a lot and she wants to go see them with her days off as well. So something that's really tricky for me is trying to create a plan to see each other because I'm like, hey, it's really important to me that we create some plan to see each other, like book a flight or something, because that will make me feel more at ease knowing that I have a chance or something to look forward to see you. Because sometimes when I'm just doing long distance and we're just talking all the time and there's no actual date for us to like meet, I'm like, again, like I appreciate this and I like talking to you, but what I value the most is being able to hold you and being able to touch you and being able to spend time with you. That is my love language. It's quality time. I mean, physical touch, of course. Whose is not? You know what I mean? What's the point of a relationship, honestly, if that aspect isn't there? You guys are just borderline friends. And that's where I'm at, where I'm like, I respect the fuck out of your situation. But it almost feels like every time I bring up this idea of us getting together, it's almost like, yeah, I'll get it done, or yeah, I'll do it. But it's almost like she's afraid to tell me that she wants to see her family instead of coming to visit me. But it's almost just like, why is it whenever you ask something of me to text you, you're feeling anxious, you want me to delete this video, you want me to do all these things, and it feels like the one thing that I'm requiring from you, it seems like there's no urgency there. There's no energy there. And that's the thing is like, I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, I feel like I'm showing up really honest in this relationship. And I know this person is too, and they're not bad. And that's what's crazy is you could have another person. This is why relationships are so tough. Honest. Bro, maintaining a relationship is difficult. It don't matter how much knowledge you have. Boundaries are an interesting motherfucking thing. Because that's the thing. It's like for her, it's like, she wants to spend time and see her family. I'm like, okay, you only have a limited amount of time off. And I want to see you a decent amount. To make this relationship work, I feel like for me, I want to see you. And here's the thing. I am willing to come out there. I am willing to take the flight and see you. It's like, why isn't there any urgency on that part of it? Because she's comfortable with what that is. But on the other side of the coin, I'm like, fuck. It's like, if it was me, I was like, bro, I've extended my trip. I would fly out there. I would do the most. And what I'm recognizing is I'm like, damn, I really would do all of this stuff for this person. And I know she feels that same way about me, but it's the weirdest thing because when we actually talk about it and get down to business, it's almost like she wants me to be patient and stop putting so much pressure on her. And I understand that. And that's where it's like weird. It's like this weird line between, am I being selfish, right? By putting, because honestly, what I'm telling her is like, listen, like, yo, I'm unhappy. And here's the thing, and that's the other hard part too, is like, how do you tell somebody that you're unhappy with the situation without blaming them? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck, like I really am. It's hard. But that's what I'm trying to tell you too, is like this unhappiness that I am communicating to her is not just about the fucking relationship. It's not just about her coming to visit me. It's about the energy that I have lacked to put on myself. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, if you are unhappy and you are in your relationship and you are blaming somebody for the unhappiness is coming from that, I can guarantee you are in control of that. I am in control of that. And that's what I'm trying to say is I'm pushing all this fucking shit on her. And it isn't fair. I'm putting a lot of pressure on her. But I'm like, yo, the flip side of the coin, I know I put some pressure on you. I know that I sometimes, you know what, I'm like, I'm unhappy and I'm expressing this and I'm making it seem like it's your fault and it's not, and it's really not. But on the flip side of the coin, I'm like, yo, when you ask me to do something, I fucking do it. If you wanted me to be there, I would be there. It's like I would show you this energy, you know what I'm saying? So like when I do ask for something to make like a plan to see each other, it's freaking me out that this person is not taking the initiative to get it done, to plan. Tell me honestly that you want to see your family instead of me during this amount of time. Or can we figure something else out? Again, I will come there. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, fuck, like things are good and they're fine. But also at the same time, I'm like, I feel like right now what I'm struggling with is obviously, again, my own unhappiness that I've got to resolve. But also I'm like, yo, I do have needs. I do have boundaries that I do want to be fulfilled. And it's weird because she's like, I do want to see you. I will come see you. Of course I will. I'll get it done. And I think what I'm doing is by putting that pressure on her saying, yo, I need to see you. And if I don't fucking see you, then like, what are we doing here? I'm making statements like that. I'm on it. I'm being selfish, to keep it real. I really am. And again, where is that coming from? That's coming from my own unhappiness where I'm pushing it on her like she needs to see me ASAP because I'm not feeling good. That's not fair. Dead ass. For real. But on the other side of the coin, you do require a lot out of me too, right? So this person also asks me, hey, make sure you're texting me, or make sure, whenever she calls, I answer. And maybe that's the basic, and that's, whatever. But do you get what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like I'm also putting in energy into this relationship, and it's like the one thing that I truly want is like a plan. And it feels like I'm not getting that. So instead of, here's what I've been doing is, okay, now that I'm recognizing that I'm sacrificing myself, I need to take a step back. I need to focus on Chris. All those times where I'm sitting up talking to you, or the energy that I've been giving this whole time, maybe I need to put in less. And not because you don't deserve it, but just for my own sanity. Because I'm sacrificing, or it feels that way. Right? I'm not doing it because I really love it sometimes. There's times where I feel like I'm showing up because, I want her to also feel good too. I want her to feel supported. It's the weirdest thing. You know what? I think this is where long distance relationships get, tricky. And I think relationships in general get tricky. To me, all of this is a battle for trust. I think really underneath all of this is fear that the other person is going to reject you. It's fear that the other person is just going to leave. And she has it too for me, right? There's a lot of times where I'll tell her I'll call her, and I take a little bit too long, and she calls me and is freaking out. Or she calls me and I don't answer, and she's texting me telling me that she's feeling anxious. So as much as you're saying that you trust me and all these things, I could also feel from you, this person, sometimes that you don't really trust me. And that's what's weird is I think the only reason I want this plan of her coming to see me and getting it down and pat down is because I just want to feel like I could trust her to show up. I could trust her. And that's the thing. It's like this weirdest thing because I'm communicating that and it's coming off as pressure. And she's communicating that she wants to talk to me and get my attention right away. And it's coming off as pressure. We're doing it back and forth. And I think relationships are naturally like this because it's really interesting how you communicate with each other. And again, sometimes it's based on confidence. Sometimes you are at ease, but sometimes it's rooted in subconscious manipulation out of your fear. So again, when we take this away, or not take it away, but we minimize that, can we be still on the same level of respect? Can we still be on the same level of trust? Can we still get the things that we need in the relationship to be successful? Can you feel satiated in the amount that I'm communicating to you? Can I feel satiated in the plan to see each other? Can we actually get together and communicate and make this thing work? And that's the hard part is, the other thing is, our values are a little bit different. And here's something that I was thinking too. Like when you are two individuals, right? And I teach this actually to the people I work with is when we're talking about boundaries, we have two people, everybody has different perceptions of what their boundaries are, right? So, and what that means is everybody has different values. And the thing is, we're all coming from our own perspective of values. For instance, I always give the example of some people like shoes in the house, like shoes off in the house. Other people don't fucking care. Some people like consistent texting. Some people don't, right? Some people like, all right, I need this amount of phone calls in order to feel good. Other people like, I'm cool not talking on the phone. My whole point is this. We all have different ways in which we show up in a relationship, right? In terms of the things that we care about. So for her, I think she is more okay than I am without having a plan, with spending not as much time with me in person, or at least for her, I think the hard part is balancing her work, her family, and me. Whereas for me, I'm like, well, it's really just me and you. Like, yeah, my family is there and I'll see them, but I care more about seeing you. And for me, that's not much of a question, to be honest. And it's interesting because I'll never want her to pick between me and her family, but it's almost like it feels that way. You know what I'm saying? But again, it shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't feel unsupported in choosing that, in choosing your family. But here's the other hard part for me. I'm like, I understand you want to see them. I understand you want to create time for them. I understand you have a busy work schedule. But I feel like the energy that I would put towards it or the values that I would set towards it are different than what she would. And that's where we're getting the friction. And that's what happens a lot in relationships is we can look at the same situation in two different ways. She's looking at it as me putting all this pressure and being selfish for wanting to see her. I'm seeing the situation as you're not putting in enough energy to make something happen. If it was me, I would find a way to see my family and find a way to do all these things, in my opinion. But for her, it's not as simple. It's not as easy. A lot of these things stress her out. So it's like, can I still show up for her and support her in her values and the things that she cares about, but at the same time, still get my needs met? Because that's the other thing. Again, I have been very selfish in a lot of the ways in this relationship. But again, it's like, I also have needs, it's like, I also have things that I want. I also have specific values, So, and it's so hard. It's like, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes relationships difficult. It's how can you get outside of your own belief system and support and accept theirs? And especially when it's in conflict with what you believe, how the fuck do you resolve that? You know what I'm saying? You really got to get creative at conflict resolution. And I think this is the key to most relationships in general. If you want a long-lasting relationship, the only fucking way, this is it, is you got to be able to resolve conflict, and especially conflict where your beliefs are in opposition, because it's going to happen. Are you able to really talk through very serious things like this and not give up, not go into your emotional patterns? Right now, she asked me to text her today, and to be honest, I haven't texted her. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to go out of my way to fucking text you today. First off, you woke up before me. You could have texted me. But second is like, you're asking me to do these things, right? To text you, to keep you current. And I'm asking you to make a plan, and I haven't seen that. And it's the weirdest thing. That's what I'm saying. Am I really supposed to be giving less, or am I supposed to be pumping in more love, more support? Should I really be texting you and holding it down? Or should I be taking away that and be like, hey, you know what? You don't want to make a plan? I ain't going to text you. And it's like, how, am I, and I feel selfish again. I feel like, fuck, am I really doing the right thing here? Is that really smart to do? I know she doesn't deserve that. And I know there's so much love here. But that's the other hard part too. Again, it's just, with the way that the relationship is, when, especially like creating actual boundaries, me and her are technically, we're not dating. So where's the line? You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about here. It's like, where is the motherfucking line? This shit is all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's like, on one hand, I could be being really selfish. On the other hand, it's like, am I not getting my needs met? It's like, which was, it's like you don't know what the right move is. But I think the solution to all of this is really honest, unfiltered, direct communication. And you really just got to be real with yourself about what you can do. And I think that's where I'm at with this situation. And I'm like, yo, I think I need the truth. Like, yo, what can you handle? What can you do? Can you know what I'm saying? Can we make this work? Can we try to make a plan to make this all go down? Because to be honest, I don't want to have to start over again. I don't. And that's a fucking shitty feeling, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know this person is really great, but I'm also not afraid to fucking do my own thing. Like, that's what's interesting about being, I think, somebody in my position, or anybody, right? It's like, I'm really at this space of my life where, I believe that there are really good people out there for you to date, but I don't believe in the one, right? I don't believe in just one person being that person. And the reality is if you have so much going on between work and your family, and we can't make this thing work, and we can't, create a plan to see each other, then listen, as much as I fucking love you and as much as I care, I'm not afraid to walk my own path and put my own time in, because that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of any relationship or anything in your fucking life, There is only one path for you, my friend. And that path is you doing shit for your fucking self and creating your own happiness. We're not getting away from that. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of what happens in this relationship, I've got one option. And that's get your shit together, bro. Get your fucking grind on. Get a to-do list and start fucking taking things down off the to-do list. I'm sick of the fucking excuses. I'm sick of the victim shit. I'm sick of blaming this person. Because here's the thing too. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I do love you. I fuck with you. But here's the other thing. I know who the fuck I am. Like, I'm motherfucking Confidence Chris, dog. Like, I'm going to be okay. Women are not going to be a problem for me in my life. I will tell you that right now. I'm 31 years old and I've got plenty of time to get shit done. True. And I'm going to accomplish a lot. And I know that I'm going to attract somebody that is emotionally intelligent just like you are. And that's what I'm trying to say, bro. I bring a lot of passion and energy to the connection. And I sometimes feel like that passion, that energy is there, but it's not as activated as I am. I'm fucking activated in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to do crazy shit. Like, I don't even want to say this, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I will travel. I will do shit. I'll pay for shit. I don't care how hard it is. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe in that shit. I know things are hard to balance, but for me, I'm like, bro, I'll figure it the fuck out. And it's interesting. Do you hear the fucking mentality and the shit I'm saying right now? I'm talking a lot of shit for a person that hasn't fucking stepped up in a little while. I really am. I'm talking a hell of a lot of shit for somebody that has been sitting on the motherfucking sidelines, honestly, I've been a little fucking bitch. I am. Sitting around, I don't know what to post. Is it 5:30 yet so I could talk to her and just forget about the day, just go to the gym? Bro, get your shit together. Fucking try. Put your shit out there. Stop living in fear. Because that's what I'm saying. That bullshit is what's making this relationship hard. It's what's making this relationship hard. It's just making my life hard in general. It's the excuses. I think what I really need to do at this point is, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to put the amount of energy in that I feel is fit for this relationship at this time. And what that feels like at this current moment is I need to do a little bit less than what I've been doing to keep it real. And I'm sure a lot of you in your relationships, just a tiny bit. And the reason I say that is a lot of the times we lose focus of what is important. I'm not saying don't love. That's what I'm saying. I would show I'm genuine. That's the thing. If she turns around tomorrow, makes a plan, and we create a plan to see each other, and she carves out the a good amount of time to see me, and we really get it done, we get it locked down, I'm gonna be a different person. I will continue on harder, making sure that you feel well kept in terms of our communication and the things that we're doing. But if I keep feeling this energy where, and I'm not saying what she's doing is not good enough. She's good enough. The things that she's doing are fine. And it sucks because I feel like I'm putting pressure. I feel like I'm putting pressure when I talk like this. But I'm like, is it really fucking pressure? Is it really? Is it that hard to fucking do this shit? Am I really making you shake in your fucking boots? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on. And I understand there's just moments where you got to let things happen naturally and be soft, and it needs to be organic. And I think that is also a really, really tough thing, right? We're talking about balance in general. You want to talk about art. You can't force your way into good art. And that's the other thing I've been struggling with in my life, right? It's like showing up online, the person that I want to be, authentic, real. I can't force that out either. So it's like this balance of you got to be patient, but also proactive at the same time. And that's with relationships, and that's with art or anything in your life. You understand what I'm saying? It's finding that fine balance where I still am showing up authentic. I'm giving you patience. I'm giving you love. I'm giving you support. And it's balance in every sense, right? Hard and soft. Vulnerability, also accountability. It's so real. You have to find that middle ground because that is going to be the safe haven. But it is hard to stay that place a lot. It really is. It's not easy. But I want you to look at your life, and I'm saying it to myself. I need to look at this relationship, right? And I need to say, okay, where's the balance? All right, I got to talk a little bit less. And I got to give her a little bit more patience and vulnerability for her to make a good choice for herself. And on that part, I also just need to see what she's going to do. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I also got to step up and be more loving. I got to step up and be more caring about her feelings about these things. And that's what I'm saying. I have been selfish about the content. I have been selfish about the pressure I've been putting on this situation, right? So I do need to take my foot off the gas pedal a little bit, stop making her feel like shit's going to just end at any moment. But at the same time, I'm like, where's the gauge between, all right, let's hit the gas pedal a little bit. Like, let's book a fucking flight. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Versus, okay, honey, you know, on your fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. Woo. Life is fucking hard. It is, you know, it's dog days. It's good days. It's bad days. It's fucking okay days. But that's the thing is like, how do you get to that optimal state? How do you, like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I have lived a life where for 4 to 5 to 6 months straight, I swear on my life, literally my mom could drop dead in the street right now. I could guarantee you that I have rated 99% of those days as a 10. I have had stretches of my life where I have felt that good. So I don't believe in the idea of really having a lot of shitty days. I really don't believe in it. And I've been having them. And I don't fucking believe in it. I swear to God, I don't. I mean, does it happen? Yeah. So I guess I need to believe in it. You know, but it's like seasonal, right? I was also reading that, you know, when you have a traumatic injury or something like that, the month after you're usually depressed. I read that in a book somewhere. So you know what? If you want an excuse, there's another one. That's what I'm saying. You could just trust me. Well, I've got excuses everywhere. You know, she's the reason I'm feeling like this. It's you. You know what I'm saying? I'm unhappy because I can't see you. It's like, no, Chris, you're unhappy because you're not fucking putting the time and the energy into yourself and you're relying on this person for your happiness. That's the truth. That's the fucking truth. And that's what I'm saying. Look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Is it really the person that you're talking to or is it really you? Like, you know what I mean? Get your shit together. And so how do we do that? Right? So how do we take ourselves from blaming others and doing all of this? And how do we get focused? And this is my plan going forward. Number one is find the things that are most important to me and start writing them down and start knocking them out. The best way to engage your self-worth and to increase your self-worth is proactive action towards your purpose. You heard what I said? Proactive action towards your purpose. That means taking actual action, like moving around. Your literal body needs to move, right? And you got to do it towards the thing that you care about. For me, it's making videos, it's going to the gym, it's self-care, it's all those things. So, you know, we got to start there. We got to start putting numbers up on the board. We got to start trying again. And because that's the thing. Oh, and just one thing I want to mention too. This is why pain is so fucking awesome. And this is why, you know, this person, you know, getting mad at me, my relationship, like when we're hitting the fan right now, and not only that, the assistant leaving me, also just like in general, like I could feel this like energy from my friends and from these people. Oh, I didn't even mention this weekend, right? I go to text a couple of people that used to be in my life. I want to say about half of them didn't respond to me. I'm not joking. Half the people I wanted to talk to or spend time with, a couple of them, it was a scheduling conflict and that's okay. But a couple of them legitimately did not answer my phone call, did not pick up, did not call me back. And what I realized though is that I have this energy right now. When you're in a shit mood and you're not feeling good about yourself, you have this energy where you're just fucking trying to get it from other people. You're fucking texting them. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing all this shit. I'm texting people that I haven't really even hung out with because I'm trying to fill this fucking void. And that's what I'm saying. All this pain of all of those situations is just a gut punch. It's like, Chris, wake the fuck up. It's not them. You don't have to hang out with more people. It's not that you're missing being single. It's not that you're missing, I am single, by the way. Fuck that. But you understand what I'm saying. You know, I miss just doing these things that I wanted to do or historically have done, or friendships that, you know, have teetered on the edge. I'm fucking sitting there texting them. It's not that. It's Get in on yourself. Take that energy and stop fucking hitting everybody up. Stop texting them. Stop relying on them. Stop hitting these random people up. That's what I'm saying. Chris, you got a job to do, or you have a job to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it starts with, that's what I'm saying, taking that time intentionally and putting it towards yourself, not just everybody else. You could be in service to others. You know, if you have a job where, you know, you're in the service industry, or you have a job where you do something for other people. That's me. I coach, I help, I give people their fucking confidence. Do that shit. Do that shit. That's the stuff I should be doing. Not going to the bar, not just fucking hanging out with people because I have this void, not hitting up the girl and blaming her and blaming this person and then feeling like shit because no one's answering their phone. Be lonely, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I need to look at myself and say, I don't give a fuck, right? That's what I'm saying. This relationship, you know, my friends I need to spend time with. You know, there is something about seeing people in person. I also have done that. I've hit my friends back up, and that was huge for me. Huge for me. If you are isolating yourself in any way, you got to hit your friends up. You got to hit the people closest to you up. That is going to make you feel a lot better. The people that are genuine towards you, and get that in-person contact. No phone calls and FaceTimes and bullshit. Make a plan. Go hang out with your friends. That's the other part of the plan. But you get what I'm saying is really being a lot more, the key to self-worth is being intentional with your time. Spending it with people that are going to fill up your cup, spending it doing actions that are towards your purpose, and spending it, I don't know, feeling, fuck that. It's not even about pleasure, because you might not feel motivated to do this shit. That's what I'm saying. I woke up today and I was feeling like asshole. But I got downstairs, I did my fucking hair, I was like, I look fucking good. And I said, fuck it. I'm putting a list together. I'm getting shit done. And because I got shit done, and because I powered through, and because I held my boundary, I ain't texting you, bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm going to call her after this and we're going to get it resolved. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I want you to have that mentality. Like, it's okay to be lonely. Like, you need that period of your life. That's what I'm saying. It's funny. When you're feeling lonely, you probably still need to do more shit for yourself. I know that sounds insane. It doesn't make sense. But when you're feeling lonely, it's probably because you are actually worried too much about other people. You got to get happy on your own. You got to find that flow on your own. You've got a gift you could give to people. You've got something. I know you do. And if you don't, sorry. You're boring and you suck. Yeah, at that point, I don't really know. Like, you gotta fucking figure your own shit out at that point. I don't really know. But long story short, this is where we're gonna end off. I really want you to just find that balance between really understanding where your unhappiness is coming from, understand your boundaries, understand where you could be putting more actual time into yourself, and stop relying so much on other people for your happiness. I feel like that really is the key here. And do your best to communicate, right? If you're in a relationship and you're struggling and there's something that you really need, it's just more communication. It's just more honest, direct communication. Get it solved, get it resolved. You're going to feel so much better. Have the uncomfortable conversations. Cut out the people that, you know, aren't filling up your cup or aren't willing to show up for you, or just minimize that energy towards them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do. We're back at it. I'm taking the mentality as if like, all right, I'm fucking single. I'm going. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not slowing myself down for somebody that isn't going to be willing to put the energy back in to me. Not like they haven't. They have, and they've been really nice and kind. I think it's just going to be one simple conversation and all this is going to be resolved. And all Chris needs to do is continue to just be himself. And you need to just be yourself. And everything is going to be okay. And you are going to be motivated and kick ass and do all the fucking things. Do all the fucking things. That's what I'm saying. Put the list together. Do the important shit. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope you've learned a lot from my bullshit, from my selfishness, from my victimhood. Because the people in your life don't deserve that version of you. The people in your life deserve the version of you that is confident, that is self-sufficient, that is loving, that is compassionate, that is authentic and honest. Go be that.